Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show, or I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you really want to support the channel and get these types of trade ideas, and this is just one of them right here on GDX Gold that we took just on the 15th, and we collected profit on Friday. Huge. We all know gold was going ballistic, and then what happened? Huge down day. And if you wanted to do this full time, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, guys. And now let's get right into the market. So lots of things happening here in the market. And then we got some data also coming out. You can see it right here, especially what's coming on Friday. And it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, we got jobless claims and all that, but that CPI, it's on Friday. And then you have Michigan consumer sentiment. So, with those disruption, especially with regional banks, we'll see how that goes. And lots of things are heading our way. And this was the another one that I kind of actually gave you guys the wrong date. It's not next week, but here the FOMC, the interest rate decision, it's the following week, end of the week, and there is some big earnings. Now, talking about earnings, we do have lots of earnings, and if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that right here. You can see bunch of earnings, especially Coca-Cola, GE, Netflix. We got Tesla, IBM, Intel, PG, AT&T, and then next week it's gonna be even more. So lots of earnings coming, this week, and this is the earnings season, and the market is doing a lot of chop. We'll talk about the market, some big names, but what the market did on Friday, that was up once again after a lot of chop, 0.52%. Nasdaq was up 0.52%. Also, S&P was up 0.53%, and Russell went down 0.67%. 11 sectors. Consumer defensive leading the way on top, financial communication services, consumer cyclical, energy, real estate, and then basic materials, utility, and industrials lagging behind. Stock market map, we got lots of things going on here. You can see Apple was green for the day, 2%. Oracle finally took a massive beat down nearly 7%. Microsoft going up 0.39%, Nvidia up 0.78%. Financial also not doing too bad here. You can see Visa, MasterCard, JPM slightly down, BRK up nearly 1%. We got Google going up 0.76%, Meta up 0.68%, Tesla up 2.46%, Amazon going down 0.67%. And then we have consumer defensive. You can see, I mean, these things are going ballistic. PG, you talk about Walmart, Costco, KO, Pepsi, all are firing in all cylinders, and things are just going really well for consumer defensive for past couple days. And now let's talk about Tesla. Since the earnings is this week, we need to talk about Tesla. Let's get started. Oh, Tesla was up 2.46%. We do have earnings coming up this week on the 22nd of October. You guys saw the calendar already. And this is what Tesla is doing right now. A lot of chop. We did get a closing over the 20-day moving average. You can see right on my screen, 436, and also that 432 range where it was getting rejected. Now, I don't know what the earnings are gonna be with Elon Musk, but definitely I don't see a good, strong earnings from Tesla, especially when you see a GM selling the heck out of those Blazer EVs. I personally have one of them, Equinox EV, and they're just selling the crap out of them. So Tesla, obviously, it's more money. You're not gonna get a Tesla lease for 165, 185, $200. One of my friend got one just about 2 weeks ago, a Blazer EV RS for $209, and that's a fully loaded car. Even though they don't hold their value, but GM is selling a lot. So Tesla with higher price. I know there is Tesla fans out there. They will buy these, but I doubt that Elon had a great quarter and Tesla's were selling like a piece of cake. I don't think that's the case. So we will see how the earnings are and what the guidance coming out from the company. But as of right now, as a technical, analyst, and what I do and read these technical patterns on these stocks, what are you seeing here on Tesla stock? A Bollinger Band squeeze. Upper one coming down pretty flat, lower one also going up pretty flat, and the stock is basically trading in between these two Bollinger Bands. So one thing is going to happen, expansion. Now, which way, up or down? I don't know. That will completely depend on Elon Musk and the company, especially when they report earnings. If it's good or the guidance, something that, investors will like, you're likely to see a massive. And there were a lot of people buying Tesla calls and still buying. I don't know why they're buying 800, 900 calls. So it's got to be something, right? I don't know, guys. Not a big fan of buying Tesla, 450 and all that. So even if it goes to 900, do not care. Now we will see how this works out. And I believe as long as it stays over that 432, it can push up to, 456 to 465, maybe even 470. But after earnings, we have to watch where things are going. Now, if this thing breaks down, I mean, definitely can come down to lower band after 432, the next support at 415. And if that gives up, watch out for this gap, 396.69. And I think it'll likely to get filled at some point. I just don't know and can give you estimated time when Tesla is coming down here. Most likely, if the earnings are not good enough, investors they don't like it, and it's going to come down and close a bunch of these gaps down here, or you're going to see a gap up and go, and possibly towards 500 here on Tesla. So if you're bullish on Tesla, and if you're still on Tesla and long term, you can hold it. But if you're just short term trading, I would say avoid trading Tesla next couple days. Let the earnings come out, and then you can trade it. Depending on which way Tesla is going, up or down. On Amazon, stock is down 0.67%. So out of all the stocks, what I see here, it's an opportunity on Amazon. You can see we did break this key level here, 215, and it's heading towards that gap. We also have earnings coming out, but that's not this week, but the following week. So Amazon here, as it gets closer, if it gets under 200, guys, fantastic buying opportunity. You can play it back up to the upside. It's a big company and definitely worth looking at it. Also, if you look at it, it's kind of forming this bullish wedge, or wedge type of pattern here. If this thing comes down to 210 and holds, possibly will go back up. But if that don't hold, the next big support will be at 207. Resistance will be at 215. If we can get over that, watch out for a move quickly up to 220 to this negative sloping 20-day moving average right here on Amazon. On Google, it's like it's a zero point 0.7 gain, an all-time high, and market cap over $3 trillion. So this thing is doing fantastic. AI, and a couple of mentions of AI at this next earnings, and this thing will be trading over 256, 57 into blue skies after earnings. Now, Google also that same type of pattern. Bollinger Bands are squeezing, and you can call this. I mean, this was a flag that I called out before, and now it's breaking out again. So that 253 holds, we're going back up to all-time highs and possibly even 270. If it does not hold, it's coming back down to 247 and possibly down to 238 to 232, and then this gap comes into play, 212.37 on Google. On Meta, it's up 0.68%. So Meta, they also have earnings coming up very soon. And this one is also chopping, a lot of chop here on Meta. And you can call this a bear flag pattern, which is there, double top. We broke the neckline and now just bear flagging here. Now, if this thing gets under this key zone, which is this 5-day moving average, 714, then it's heading down towards 700 and possibly even 690 to 682. To the upside, if this thing stays here at 714, watch out for a push up to 728, 738, 747.37 to retest these 20-day and 50-day moving averages on top. On AMD, it's down 0.63%. So AMD, it's down, but you can see, I mean, this is a big move to the upside. Once again, brand new all-time high on Thursday, and things are just pushing higher. But only thing I would say, watch this. If this thing were to come down, just watch this line right here, guys. Right here. I'm gonna take this out because it already broke out, and we had a massive move. And if you're in this run, watching some of these videos, you made a ton of money. Now, this is gonna be a key zone that 227, 228. You can see right here, 5-day moving average and bottom of this trend line here. If this thing remains over that, definitely there is a chance for the bulls to catch up and go even higher from here. So the next key resistance to break, definitely that 240, 241 range. If we're trading over that, guys, and I think it will at some point, look at that Bollinger Band on top, expanded up to 258, and that is where I think this thing is heading to 260. If we can get over that 240, 241 range, and it needs to hold there as well. So, and this is not only just a trend line. I mean, if you go and make this, a straight line, you can see, I mean, this is definitely something that actually can break out and make a massive move to the upside. It's a wedge type of pattern and, flag, whatever you want to call it here. You can see just wedging. If this thing breaks out, it can definitely move higher. We also have earnings coming out, but that's next month, beginning of next month on the 4th of November. On Netflix, it's up 1.33%. So this one again jumped back up and almost near. We got rejection at 1200, but it's closing, closing pretty much near 1200. So if this thing stays over 1200, we have earnings this week. You can push up to 1213, 1245, maybe even 1270. To the downside, does not hold and gets a rejection, comes right back down to close the gap 1163. And if that gives up, it can come down rapidly. And I mean, really quickly. And this thing can go down, especially if they miss or, the guidance or something is bad about this earnings, it can come down rapidly to the downside Netflix. So we just have to wait. And this is going to be really expensive to trade this week. So I would say if you're a really good trader and you want to avoid losing money, stay away from Netflix and maybe try to see where things go after earnings, and then you can go and start trading next week. That's gonna be really hard to trade this thing unless you have a lot of money and you like wasting money. Then definitely, it's definitely your call. You don't have to listen to me, right? You can go and trade whatever you want anytime you want. You can go ahead and do that. On Microsoft, it's up 0.39%. So what we're seeing here, a little bit of flag type of pattern. Earnings are here, but the thing is just going back and forth. So if we get over 517, it's heading back up to upper Bollinger Band 527 to even 532. That's where we got rejected before. If it's heading down and does not get over that 517, 515, where the 20-day moving average is sitting, it's definitely coming back. And I was hoping this Friday, I was waiting for 503 to maybe pick up some short-term trade some calls there and play it back up to the upside, but it did not happen. But I think it can happen definitely this week. If there's a little bit of downside, it can come down and close the gap, and then you can catch it near 500. That would be fantastic. As long as the support holds, you're more than welcome to take some calls right here. But if it breaks under 500, you need to exit immediately and cut losses, whatever that is. Could be 5-10% on Microsoft. On Apple stock, it's up nearly 2%. So Apple went right back up. But again, just like S&P 500 and SPY ETF, and Nasdaq triple Q, it's bear flagging here. Even though we're up, you can see a clear rejection at the 20-day 253. We backed off a little bit, but it's holding 250. So with earnings coming up the following week, we have to see what the earnings are. And this one might be, okay, might not be great earning, but we might get away with this earnings here on Apple. They got the new phone that came out and it was already on back order, so a lot of demand still out there for these phones. Maybe not for all the products, but I think Apple is doing still okay on the selling part. 250 gives up. Definitely watch for that 245, 241 zone. If this thing stays over 250, watch out for the breakout over 253.48, and then it's heading back up to 260 plus. All right, so Nvidia stock was up 0.78% on Friday, but one thing I want to point out, guys, that 180 on Nvidia for past couple days, one, two, three, fourth day was Friday. It's holding. And also, we're not getting over 184. Rejection, rejection. We didn't even get there on Thursday and Friday. We got close to it, but we just stayed under 184. So you can see clearly it's flagging here. If this thing this is also looks like a cup and handle pattern here. If this thing gets over 184, easily can run up to 190, 195, even 200, which is going to be ridiculous to see the market cap going up near $5 trillion on Nvidia stock which I think that's the goal, especially from Jensen and Nvidia company. It's gonna get there at some point, and that's gonna be the headline. And I'm telling you guys, you guys can go and watch this video at that time whenever that comes on Nvidia. I'm not seeing any significant drop happening anytime soon, especially with the pattern how things are going on Nvidia and saving that 180 for a couple days in a row. It would just not stay under 180, which is really crazy. So here on Nvidia, 184 breaks, more upside, 190, 195, 200. Below 184, 180, a key zone to watch. And that's going to be what I'm watching this week. If this thing holds, definitely there is room for upside. Otherwise, we might see some short-term downside, and then we can talk about it in my next video. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.